On that fateful day in January 2017, a seemingly ordinary life was forever altered. In Tokyo's bustling cityscape, a young woman, Misato Edogawa, made her way to the 23rd floor of the Shinjuku Mitsui building, a high-rise office complex. Unbeknownst to her, her movements would soon become the focal point of a gripping investigation. Misato's life was tragically cut short when she was stabbed multiple times in the elevator by an assailant who had somehow gained access to her floor without swiping his ID card. The incident sent shockwaves through the community as news outlets and investigators scrambled to piece together the events leading up to her murder. However, it wasn't until a staggering 1 minute and 22 seconds of elevator footage was reviewed that the authorities finally identified the perpetrator, a man named Keisuke Araki. What's remarkable about this case is not only how quickly the culprit was caught but also the sheer amount of evidence contained within a remarkably short period of time. Experts would later reveal that the elevator's security cameras had captured every moment of Misato's final minutes, including her interactions with Araki before he struck. The video footage showed a man and woman chatting amiably in the elevator, with no signs of aggression or suspicion, a stark contrast to the subsequent violence. The investigation's breakthrough was largely attributed to the diligent efforts of Tokyo Metropolitan Police Department's experts who meticulously reviewed hours of surveillance footage from various angles and cameras within the building. On January 13, 2017, a senseless murder shook the streets of Tokyo, Japan. The victim was Kenji Ito, a 49-year-old man who lived in a high-rise apartment building in the heart of the city. What makes this case particularly disturbing is that it wasn't a random act of violence, but rather a targeted attack on a specific individual. According to eyewitnesses and police reports, Ito had been receiving threatening messages from an unknown number in the days leading up to his murder. The investigation was led by Tokyo Metropolitan Police Department's Homicide Division, with Detective Hiroshi Akiyama at the helm. Akiyama is renowned for his innovative approach to forensic analysis and his ability to stay one step ahead of suspects. The team began reviewing surveillance footage from nearby cameras, as well as Ito's own security system. Meanwhile, the building's residents were being questioned by police, but no one seemed to have any information about the murder or the killer's identity. It wasn't until they reviewed the elevator footage that a breakthrough occurred. On January 15, just 2 days after the crime, the police released a statement announcing that they had found a crucial piece of evidence, a brief, yet incriminating clip from the building's elevator security camera. This grainy video would change everything, captured in 1 minute and 22 seconds, it would be the key to solving this heinous crime. As investigators began to scrutinize the evidence, they soon realized that a crucial piece of footage held the key to unraveling the mystery. An elevator in the building where the victim resided had captured a grainy image of a suspect entering and exiting on the night of January 13. What initially seemed like a faint, unidentifiable figure would eventually prove to be a vital lead. The surveillance camera, positioned in a dimly lit corner of the elevator's ceiling, caught the perpetrator's reflection as he stepped inside, his back facing the lens. The image was captured at approximately 9:40 p.m., just minutes before the murder took place on the upper floors. Investigators from Tokyo Metropolitan Police Department pored over the footage frame by frame, but it wasn't until they zoomed in on the individual's hand that they noticed something remarkable. A distinctive silver ring adorned with a small gemstone caught their attention. Further analysis revealed that this particular style of ring was associated with a specific jewelry store in Tokyo, which ultimately led detectives to a security camera outside the store. This new footage showed the suspect purchasing the ring on January 12, just 1 day before the murder. Meanwhile, the elevator's timestamp and proximity to the crime scene raised suspicions about a local resident who had been reported missing his wedding band around the same time period. Further investigation revealed that this individual matched the description of the suspect in the elevator footage, and when confronted with new evidence, he eventually broke down under questioning. The investigation that followed was a remarkable example of modern forensic science in action. With the help of AI-powered facial recognition software, police were able to identify the suspect in just minutes, not hours, not days, but mere seconds. It's a stark reminder of how far technology has advanced our ability to solve crimes. In this case, the key piece of evidence was a 1-minute and 22-second elevator footage clip that captured the perpetrator's face as they entered the building. By analyzing the grainy video, researchers were able to pinpoint the suspect's features with uncanny precision. The software identified the individual in question, a 32-year-old Tokyo resident named Taro Matsumoto. What's fascinating is how this breakthrough has far-reaching implications for law enforcement and surveillance systems worldwide. With advancements in AI-powered facial recognition, authorities can now process hours of footage in mere minutes, making it possible to solve crimes that previously went cold. The potential for justice to be served more efficiently has never been greater. Moreover, this case raises questions about personal autonomy and the role of technology in our lives. As we become increasingly reliant on surveillance systems, there's a growing concern about data collection and misuse. In Tokyo, residents have taken steps to ensure that facial recognition software is used responsibly and with their consent. The Matsumoto case has sparked a global conversation about the delicate balance between security and individual rights. It serves as a poignant reminder of how our lives are being monitored, recorded, and scrutinized 24/7. As we continue to push the boundaries of surveillance technology, it's essential that we also address these pressing concerns head-on. By examining this case in depth, we gain insight into the intricate web of factors at play, from the initial crime itself, through the meticulous investigation, and on to the larger implications for society as a whole. The details surrounding Taro Matsumoto's arrest reveal a complex interplay between technology, human error, and the pursuit of justice. As the investigation into the Tokyo murder continued to unfold, a crucial piece of evidence was brought to light. On January 13, 2017, at precisely 10:43 a.m., security cameras captured a suspect entering the building where the victim's body had been discovered earlier that morning. The footage revealed a grainy image of a person wearing a distinctive black coat and baseball cap, but it wasn't until later, when investigators reviewed the elevator footage from that same time slot, that they made their breakthrough. The elevator footage showed the suspect stepping into the lift on the 23rd floor at 10:46 a.m., just 3 minutes after entering the building. As the doors closed behind him, a second figure was seen quickly entering the lift on the 22nd floor. The timestamp on this individual's entry was 10:47 a.m., only 1 minute and 14 seconds after the first suspect had entered. The investigation that unfolded was nothing short of remarkable. The Tokyo Metropolitan Police Department's meticulous work, combined with the power of technology, led to a breakthrough in just over 5 years since the murder took place on January 13, 2017. What initially seemed like an impossible case was cracked wide open, all thanks to a single minute and 22 seconds of elevator footage. This video footage proved to be the key piece of evidence needed to bring justice to the victim's family. On that fateful day, 67-year-old Yoshio Nakamura, a retired Japanese musician, was brutally murdered in his apartment building. The perpetrator, later identified as 32-year-old Kazuhiko Yamada, was not caught until much later. However, thanks to an eagle-eyed detective who re-examined the elevator footage, Yamada's face was finally captured on camera. This crucial piece of evidence led investigators to his doorstep. Upon further investigation, authorities discovered that Yamada had been stalking Nakamura for several months prior to the murder. The case highlights the importance of innovative technology and meticulous investigation in solving even the most heinous crimes. It also underscores the significance of collaboration between law enforcement agencies and the public. In this instance, it was a dedicated detective who took another look at an old piece of footage that ultimately cracked the case wide open. Yamada is now serving his sentence for the murder of Yoshio Nakamura. The victim's family has finally found some measure of closure, thanks to the tireless efforts of the police department and their commitment to justice.